Welcome back to Pop Tabs, keeping tabs on all your pop culture topics. I'm your host, Matthew Yapp. Joining me today is...
PT Shinkan.
And...
Helmen.
We're jumping right into it. Consoles, gang.
Hi.
Are they a mess? Are they not a mess? I'm not really sure. Sony has recently announced that the PS5 is coming. It's probably going to be under a different name, but that's what it's being called for now. And it's expected to have backwards compatibility, not 8K graphics anymore. They announced this morning that that's not happening. 3D audio and the implementation of SSD instead of a hard drive, which means game speed and download times will be a little better. So, what are your initial thoughts on this?
Well, I'm going to go right out and say, why? Why are they releasing yet another expensive console? Because, like, you know, the 360 was cool. And then now,
you're a little behind.
And now, well, because I have a 360, and now it's like, I want to play these games. And they just keep releasing stuff. In all seriousness, my whole thoughts is like, this is cool. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to all the cool like new games that are going to be coming on to these like this new console and all the cool, I guess, graphics. I mean, they're really dumbing down on these graphics now.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what exactly the point is of making another console when this just sounds like PS4 Pro. If I had to guess, I really haven't seen anything yet that's like, wow, that's worth having another console for.
SSD, Jay.
Wow.
What everyone was asking for.
Of course.
What is SSD?
And like their whole drive was 8K, and like that's really not even possible right now.
Yeah.
So it's got to be something that is both cheap and powerful at the same time. And good luck getting that.
So I'm a Nintendo boy. I'll be real. Matt likes Nintendo a lot, and the reason I like them more than PS4, which I do have a PS4, or Xbox, is because they actually, I feel like, innovate between generations. Like, you know, the Switch is so much different than what the Wii U is doing, and there's like such a difference between consoles where, like you said, this one feels like it's still a PS4.
With like one new button.
Yeah, I don't get the change. I don't get why we should care.
You should care, Matt, because it's a new console for new people to play their Overwatch things on.
Overwatch things.
And that's another thing is they have not announced any games that will be available at launch. So, like, not a lot of people have been getting really excited. But something they did say about games at launch is that they're still going to be physical, which surprised a lot of people. As we kind of thought we were moving towards a market that's past discs, because a lot of people really don't use discs anymore. They just download everything.
Yep.
So, why do you think they're sticking with physical video games?
I'll tell you, Matt, because GameStop, that's why. And if they stopped doing physical discs, then GameStop would stop supporting PlayStation, and then out would go a lot of their business or some of it. That's why.
Yeah. But, I mean, the issue is if GameStop's now obsolete, they don't need their support anymore.
Well, yes, true. But I think that there's still a market there, which they're going to miss out on.
Yeah.
So.
Valid.
I mean, I see it more of so like the novelty factor, because a lot of people like to collect these games. A lot of people like to like keep them. Like, I've gone into houses where people literally have like entire
displays,
shelves. Yeah, dedicated to this. I'm the same way when it comes to like CDs and books. Like I could like go and like purchase like a digital version of the CD, but I would much rather have like a physical copy of the CD. Just because, like, I love, like, feeling it. I like opening it for the first time, sticking it in, like, my CD player in my car.
New game smell is good.
And then also new book smell, too. Like, I like new books. I could download it, but it's, like, nothing beats, like, having a physical copy in your hand. So, like, it's, like, the novelty factor. It's, like, collecting. Yeah.
I get that. I do. I collect vinyls.
There you go.
Which obviously vinyls are a little bit obsolete at this point.
But they're cool.
They are cool. They look fun.
Yeah.
They look nice on my wall. But I think, I don't know, I see video games as almost different than...
That's true.
Because like vinyls have this kind of cool vintage feel, and you know, with your vinyl player, and some people say, you know, the sound is different.
It is.
Where a physical video game is going to play the exact same way as a digital.
You say this, but wait till down the line in like 20 years, people are going to say the exact same thing about physical copies of CDs.
You think so?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, probably. I do.
I disagree.
Do you disagree?
Oh, whoa.
Because I think vinyl is different. A, because of its sound. And CD is still the highest quality sound that you can get right now. But that being said, I think that vinyl has a different sound. Vinyl is also a celebration of the artwork in a way that CD is not, and I also believe physical games are not. I mean, they're this big and they're riddled with logos all over the place.
Yeah.
You can't do that with a vinyl, or you don't have to do that with a vinyl. So I think CDs are still different in that way than vinyl. Vinyl is a celebration of the music in a way that CD's not.
I do know a kid who's in like middle school, and he was like, I collect CDs because they're vintage. And
It's a thing,
I was like, oh man, like we're at that point in my
I'm
life.
not saying it's not a thing. It is a thing, but I'm not going to be the same.
No, I do agree, because especially, like I said, I display my vinyls because there's a lot of times like art on them and they look really neat, where discs for video games are usually like,
I gotta hang up my discs.
yeah, they just have usually the game cover on them.
Sometimes the game cover is kind of cool though.
Which is valid.
I know the Marvel vs. Capcom. I'm sure I butchered that name, but I know like for that game you like can take out the actual like artwork from like the case, and you can flip it around, and you can like have a totally different one.
That is pretty nifty.
Yeah, that
to
is a
me,
thing.
that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, so I'm kind of with both of you in the sense that I think it's a collector thing maybe, and there are still plenty of people who are like, you know, I don't want to wait for it to download, all that jazz. I want to pop it in.
Still gotta wait for it to
Yeah,
download.
you still gotta wait for it to download. I ran into that issue
Yeah.
with Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah. But on another note, consoles
Yeah.
is still with that change. That's not a thing changing for PS4, 5. Are you guys excited for the console? Do you feel like there's enough changes? Are you into
I
it?
mean, you already heard my thing. No,
No.
I think the whole era, and we've been saying this for years, but I really think this is the era of the new console thing is kind of over. I think it's just going to be upgrades from now on. It just, from what I hear of this, it's literally just incremental upgrades of everything. Nothing is that special, and honestly, I don't want anything more special at this point.
Yeah.
And the thing too that it needs to happen is this needs to start competing with streaming services, because these gaming streaming services are on the rise in a whole new way, and they're going to be providing you with high-end gear, you know, that they have that will run the game and then stream it towards you. So they need to have, this console needs to be like I said, the best specs that it can be to run your favorite games, and cheap enough that you won't have to pay for a streaming service to do it. So
Because realistically, I cannot buy a console every 2 years.
of course,
Like, it can't happen.
right. And so for some people, renting out a console, aka streaming, is the way to go.
Yeah.
So it needs to fit that market, and right now it doesn't look like it is.
No.
I mean, I don't really play video games, so yes, I'm excited for everyone who does, but I don't have the money to flesh out to buy this. I still have a 360,
Fair.
and I still have the original Xbox. So like,
Go Wii.
I have a Wii too.
I also have.
You gotta have a Wii.
You gotta have a Wii, man.
I
I
mean,
rebought a Wii. It was great.
I rock a GameCube, let me tell you.
Same. That's one reason about the Wii, so I can play my GameCube.
I'm excited, but I also like don't care at the same time. Like, okay, cool. Like, it seems like new consoles are being released every single year. I'm just like, it's this, and like you guys said, it's the same stuff.
It
maybe
is.
with like maybe one or two new features, but like, cool. The light lights up now. Okay,
I wish
it
it's
did
light
purple.
up.
I wish it did have features.
Why doesn't
Give
the
me
PS5
something.
light up?
Something.
Come on.
I mean, there's lights on it.
Nah. Yeah, I want it glow in the dark.
Why don't it hover?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, like I said, I think Nintendo does it right in the fact that every console feels very different. It has a very different play style.
Yeah.
They kind of do it differently. But honestly, the majority of my gaming is kind of transitioning to PC, and the reason for that is absolutely changing. Like when games start to get too like graphically advanced, I can go out and buy a new graphics card for my PC. I don't need a full new PC. I can just change whatever is now obsolete.
Yep.
And consoles are not going to be able to do that. And I think they either really need to start adapting, or they kind of just need to stop making consoles, which actually is a conversation. Xbox is gearing up to announce their next console, which looks like it's going to be a lot more similar to a PC than it is to a traditional console.
Yep.
So do you guys think that that's the smart move, or do you think that's kind of going to be a downfall to Xbox?
Well, again, if you do the whole piece by piece of upgrading, then you're not giving the money to Xbox. So I think they have to think of a way to either start making their own pieces, or they're going to have to keep releasing these consoles.
Yeah.
So I think that's the bind that they're in right now too, which is interesting.
Fair.
I have a Mac, so like,
I forgot that we were talking about PC, and I was like, cool.
I have a Mac, so like, again, I don't game. So this is, I mean, cool. I hope Xbox does this. This would be really cool and awesome. And a lot of money won't be flushed out to this. But like, I mean, I'm just sitting here like, you guys can talk about video games all you want, but I agree with you, Jake. I just have a Mac. I can't play.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I also think that, actually, TT, off of your point, a lot of people don't have PCs that can quite run video games, and so I think Xbox are kind of like cornering in on that market of where they're still known as a console, but we're closer to a PC, and we can continue. I think probably if they're going to do it, they do have to start releasing, like, when games get too advanced visually, they have to start releasing their own like graphics cards. Yeah. I think that's the way.
Which is what they do, like used to do in like the N64 days, which is kind of funny. We're going back to that.
Do you remember when you wanted to buy Majora's Mask and you had to buy a whole
little chip?
Yeah, you had to buy a whole ass chip to like make the game
to make it run.
I say just bring back the Game Boys.
Oh, bring back a Game Boy. I have my Game Boy.
I still have a Game Boy games.
3DS is great.
3DS is great.
I still play mine.
I rock my 3DS. Anyways. So that being said, Xbox and PlayStation have always had a bit of a competition. Do you think with the changes that Xbox is making and the changes that PlayStation's decided not to, that it's going to kind of end that, or do you think they'll always have the rivalry?
Oh, they'll always have the rivalry. There will always be a rivalry between Coke and Pepsi. There will always be a rivalry between Romeo and Juliet or whatever the heck.
Capulets and the Montagues.
Thank you. There will always be rivalries between them. And because it's just like people, no matter if like this thing, like these do happen, people are always going to be like, PS4s are better or like Xboxes are better. And like, you're always going to have that.
People love contrarians.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it does certainly seem like, though, like you were talking about, they're going different directions for the first time in a minute.
Yeah, because they've basically been releasing the same console for a while.
Exactly, and it's always been, it's like a little bit better. This one's like $50 cheaper.
Yeah.
Well, this seems like, if Xbox is really going to make a change here and make something that is upgradable, then that's a step, I think, in the right direction, and a step in the wrong direction for PlayStation. They're gonna walk themselves into a hole. So
I agree. I think that competition's always good for like industries, and so I think that they're never gonna let the competition die, because I do think the reason they release the same console every year is just slightly different is because Xbox and Sony both know that like it makes absolutely great profits for them.
Yeah.
And you know, competition really pushes those sales. Speaking of sales, you know, I just pre-sold a bunch of stuff. Avengers Endgame.
Woohoo! What's that?
Whoa. It's a Marvel movie. It's the same as the other ones.
Small movie.
It's a low one. You've probably never heard of it. But Endgame actually broke just about every box office pre-sale record like ever. It's actually lined it up to top several major blockbusters just in pre-sales in terms of entire box office. So what do you guys think of the fact that Avengers Endgame is just dominating the box office before it's even come out?
Well, I just feel like because the Marvel movies have like a cult following already, and they already have fans, me including.
Me too.
And they already have these like dedicated fans who have been with them since like Iron Man came out in 2008. I was in elementary school when it came out.
I was 10, yeah.
Yeah, they have had like fans since like 2008, since like they could first start knowing what a movie is.
Right.
And so like them to like, and to continue to like pump out these movies that are actually, like, I actually do enjoy most Marvel movies.
Oh yeah, I love Marvel.
They're very, very good, and they have a good entertainment factor. And the fact that like Avengers Endgame, Infinity War, like ended on such like a cliffhanger.
Right.
That like all these people are just like anticipating like what's going to happen next. We want to know the concluding story. So like, of course they're gonna get these like record-breaking pre-sales and stuff, because you have so many people that want to be the first to know. They want to know like what happens. Like, is Spider-Man gonna live? Yes. Is Cap gonna die? Yes. So like, they want to know what's going to happen. They want to know. So, it's not really a big surprise.
Yeah.
That is an interesting commentary on the why the pre-sales are big, because I don't remember pre-sales ever really being a thing before this, like with movies. I mean, maybe with like Harry Potter and stuff, but you already know what's going to happen with those. It's very interesting because I think it has to do with like the culture of you like you said, you have to be the first to know. You like want to be in the conversation as fast as possible, and it is this weird thing that everyone needs to see it. It's about how fast you see it, and that's how you can tell if you're the true fan or not.
Right.
You know, and it's very interesting. I think that it's a shift in culture of movie going, where it's like, well, of course we're going to see it, but when are you going to see it?
Yeah.
So I think that's interesting.
Yep.
No, for me, I pre-bought and I'm seeing it premiere night, and mine is almost more because like I had Infinity War ruined for me. I knew.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, I knew how it was going to end before I saw it, and I was so angry. And so this time I'm like, I gotta get ahead of everyone talking about it on Twitter. And so kind of in like the sense of like movie going's changing is, especially with these major cultural like phenomenon films, everything gets ruined by the internet so quickly.
Oh, because there's memes of them made like as soon. Yeah.
I would say like
How
the
do they do
internet. The internet's really changed what like movie going's become in the sense that you don't get to just enjoy a movie at your own pace anymore.
Yeah.
You have to be quick, like you said, and get ahead of everyone else. And so I think that honestly probably is pushing a lot of it. Is people want to be in the know before it gets ruined for them.
And they said we were killing movie theaters.
You know, millennials, man, and we kill everything. But do you guys think that Endgame having this massive pre-sale and everyone talking about it, and like we said, you're going to see it. If you've ever seen a Marvel film, you're going to see Endgame.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's creating too much hype for, you know, itself to actually do well?
No, I don't think so.
I
think this whole setting up for failure is not something in their case. Maybe for a fan it is, but in their case, I mean, I think that all Endgame has done is just advertised itself as a sequel to the last movie, which did really well. So it's like, of course it's going to do well. And so it's, hey, remember that movie that you really liked? We're going to do another one of those. That's all they did. They didn't do anything like beyond that, really. And this whole like, I think overhyping means good marketing.
Yeah.
That's how I read it. Because if your people are talking about it, they're going to go see it, you make the money, goodbye.
Right.
Like, I think as a fan, yeah, you totally can overhype yourself, and I think that that's a thing that happens a lot. But I think from their standpoint, I don't think there's a thing as overhyping.
Okay.
I mean, you're still gonna have people like you're gonna still have these people that are going to get butthurt. They're gonna find something about the film that they don't like.
Right.
Like, no matter what's going to happen, there's going to be people that are unsatisfied walking out of the theater. So, personally, I don't think they're overhyping it. I'm going to enjoy it. But then again, that's me. I've enjoyed every single Marvel movie that I've seen. I don't know how any of these other people are going to be. Yes, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are going to be very excited over it because, like Jake said, it's the sequel. That's all they've been advertising it as. But then again, you're going to have Tumblr getting angry over something like, oh, this wasn't satisfying enough. Like, it's just a move. Like, who cares?
And I agree with you to an extent, which who cares, I absolutely agree with, because at the end of the day, it's a movie.
It's a movie, yeah.
But I think a lot of people who they really have pushed it as like, this is the end. Like the newest trailer, they just showed like clips of all the old Marvel movies and like, we're leading up to this moment.
That is true.
I think honestly, like that's so much pressure. Like they have, like we said, over a decade of movies riding on, and they're really kind of pushing the idea that like, this is the end of a decade's worth of build up to where people are going to see it, and I've seen nothing but people being like, I want it to end like this, I want it to end like this, I want it to end like this.
I want the Ant-Man Thanos theory to end.
Oh God.
You know, a lot of people do on a lot of weird sites.
Climbing up in there.
Yeah, but I think everyone has at this point been like told that, you know, it's going to be a culmination of decades of your life. Like you said earlier, we've grown up with this, and this is going to be that moment for you. And I don't think they can make that satisfying. All these ways that we want it to end, it's not going to end like that. And I think that really has kind of left them in like a vulnerable position to an extent.
Yeah.
Will it hurt their box office sales? No, because we all already bought a ticket. But yeah, I think it really is kind of setting them up to be disappointed, I suppose.
However, you can tell it with sometimes you can tell it just by like the sheer like how they like advertise it in the trailers. Because right now, Endgame looks like it's gonna be good.
Yes.
Endgame, I'm excited for. I'm hyped for. Dark Phoenix, I'm very like unhappy to say that I don't think it's gonna be good. Coming from an X-Men fan, and I'm totally sick of them doing like the Dark Phoenix stuff. But
X3 was so bad.
exactly. But like compare like the Endgame trailers to the Dark Phoenix trailers.
Yeah.
You can already tell, like they're kind of like hyping it up too. But it doesn't look as good as like Endgame because Endgame has, I mean, all the trailers have been phenomenal.
Yeah. And it's a shame because Sophie Turner is the most beautiful woman who's ever
she's
existed.
phenomenal.
I
She's
love her.
phenomenal.
But yeah, you're right. Dark
Yeah.
Phoenix is a choice. And I'm gonna bet the pre-sales for that aren't fantastic.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. But you know what else is not gonna be fantastic that cost money? Disney Plus.
Oh.
Yeah. Or it might be. Who am I to say?
Oh, yeah, what?
So Disney has announced their streaming service, Disney Plus, which is meant to rival other services like Hulu and Netflix. It only costs $7, which is pretty
What a
low.
steal.
Yeah, that's like old days of Netflix, but considering most streaming services, what they're priced at is pretty solid. And it's basically a combination of their older films that they have under the Disney umbrella, as well as a lot of new original TV series. Just a few of them are High School Musical, the musical, the series, which
What?
is
That's a
amazing. Yeah, yeah. The Mandalorian, Star Wars film, Monsters at Work, a Monsters Inc. series, Diary of a Female President, which is original. Yeah, it's an original. And they also have 7. This makes 11 Marvel TV series in the works. So what are our initial thoughts on this gang?
Okay, I'm a huge Disney fan.
Yes.
So like obviously I'm very, very, very excited for Disney Plus. I probably won't get a subscription just because I'm cheap and although my family might get it because we love Disney and we go to Disney all the time. But I really like it because there's so like they're gonna have Disney movies, like original Disney movies on here. I'm on board with that. The like original shows, okay, like that's cool. Like Diary of a Female President, like that doesn't really entice me that much.
Don't you want to see High School Musical, the musical, the series?
I might actually check that out, honestly. But like the Monsters Inc. thing sounds really, really cool. All the Marvel, like being a Marvel fan too, I'm very, very excited for Cap and Winter Soldier because I'm just like, that's that. What? I'm
Bucky
curious.
Barnes is the only character that's ever existed.
Plus, I'm hoping that the animated series are, like the Marvel animated series are pretty good.
Yes.
Because that's what Marvel is lacking.
Looking at Marvel What If.
What If will be fun.
Give me that What If show.
I'm so excited. Please, like, bring a Wolverine or X-Men show or something. I don't care. But I'm very excited for this, especially like the low cost too. Like
$7 is pretty solid.
that's not bad. That's
a
really
great-
not
That's
bad
a great
Yeah.
price.
for everything that you're getting. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited for it.
Okay.
Me too. I'm a big Disney boy, and honestly, I wasn't super about paying for another service, but then I saw it was $7. I was like, dang it, Disney, you're good. You got me.
Yeah.
So now I will be buying it. And damn, I will be happy about it.
Yes,
and
you
I'm
will.
just I'm just excited. I think it's awesome too to have all these movies in one place.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice to have, like, I am assuming all the Pixar movies and stuff will be on there. I'd love to watch those. All the Avengers movies on once. You never get those unless you bought all the DVDs.
Right.
Or the Marvel movies. And so yeah, I think I will definitely be buying it. And it's a great idea, and they're super smart for doing it.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Of all the people who are making streaming services, which is a lot, I think Disney makes the most sense.
It really
Totally.
does.
Totally.
That being said, I won't buy it. I don't really like Disney. It's not my thing.
To each their own.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
You
I
also
love.
don't have a soul.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Marvel, but like old Disney movies, I've seen some. Like I don't love them as much as most people. I don't like Monsters Inc. Don't really care for the High School Musical, the musical, the series. Yeah, like it's not my jam. But I can totally kind of understand it, especially at a $7 price point. That being said, do you think that's going to stay a $7 price point, or do you think they're just getting people in?
No.
That's
That's
how
also
they're
the
gonna
base
entice
price.
people.
So
Right.
I'm sure those be tiers, and you only get Pixar if you pay $9. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I absolutely see them letting everyone subscribe for $7, and they're like, okay, now it's 11. Hope you forget to unsubscribe.
Oh yeah, everything goes up eventually.
Yeah.
Like all prices go up eventually.
Netflix is up to like what, like 16 some now?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and it
Some of
started
them are,
started around 7 as well.
Yep.
They gotta get you in.
That they got to start because it's a new
push
streaming
you
service.
until you
That's
won't do it.
how they have to do.
Right.
Sorry.
Something else that I think is so anxiety-inducing, which is why I don't want to subscribe to this. I love Marvel so much. It is my favorite thing. I love comic books, but DC is killing me with their movies, TV series, anything. I think that 7 TV shows, plus all the other TV shows Disney's making, it's a lot of content. Mm-hmm. It makes me want to hyperventilate a little bit because there's just so much being produced. We get like 4 Marvel movies a year now. We already had a lot of Marvel stuff coming out, and now there's all these other things you have to keep up with. And at this point, there's no way you could watch all of their things. And so, do you think that Disney in general, because they're also making a lot more Star Wars things now, along with this Disney Plus, and they're making a lot of original series based off the movies you already know. There's all those other movies that you could watch, and now there's all these Marvel movies. Do you think that they are getting to this point where they are oversaturating their own market and they're just making too much?
Well, yes and no. It just depends on how you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have people that are like, this is like too much. Like, why are they making all these things? And then you also have the other side where it's just like, yes, 7. That's too little. Like, that's not a lot. Like, you have...
I have 3 jobs, man.
Exactly. So, like, you have people that, like, actually, like, can't watch all
Yeah.
these things. Like, I can't sit down and watch everything anymore.
Right.
And then you have people that have, like, too much time on their hands that, like,
Valid.
we can watch all this. I mean, as long as the Marvel, like, shows don't, like, all, like, have something, like...
Interconnected.
Yes, like, how all the movies... Then you're fine to like pick and choose whichever.
Yeah.
But
DC, CW shows. I don't want to watch Legends of Tomorrow. It's a mess.
I mean, it just depends on like what you're a fan of too. Because like I'm personally not like a huge Star Wars fan, so like the Star Wars stuff doesn't really like entice me. But like the Marvel stuff does. High School Musical, no.
High School Musical, the series.
But the Monsters at Work, I love Monsters Inc. So like that does like entice me. Like Captain Falcon, yes, I'll probably watch it. Loki, maybe, I don't know. Those are the only 2 that I know of.
Scarlet Witch. There's so many TV.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot.
I mean, are we really complaining about having too many things to watch? I really like, that's a good thing.
It just depends on how good
I
they
think
are.
there's this culture, I think, that everyone's been used to because everyone makes 2 things. Hollywood makes 2 things a year. And that's not a thing anymore. You don't need to watch everything anymore. It's okay. And I think that's what's so good about this.
But
this
some of us are managing
streaming
editors of
services.
entertainment news networks.
That's what
And we
teams are
have
for, Matt. And I think that culture is dying, and it's a good thing because we don't need to all watch the same 2 things and all be mad about it.
That's true.
And honestly, more media means more adversity. It means more choices. It means more jobs for those that make them. It means more stories and more representation. So I really don't see a bad side to this, except for that you get to choose and watch whatever you want to watch. And as TT said, he's going to pick out her favorites. Well, someone else is going to pick out their favorites. And the CW show, someone loves that show and is like obsessed over it, and they want it more than anything in the world. And you don't want it and you think it doesn't exist because you don't want it.
Dang, he's right.
No, he's not. Question: Why do you think there's going to be more diversity when pretty much every show they've announced are still the white leads?
Because it's more stories, Matt. There's more opportunities for that adversity.
There's opportunity. I don't see Disney.
Excuse me. How do you know
the
that
gun to
High
grab
School
them?
Musical, the movie, the series, the musical, the series, the movie, is not going to have an all-white cast? You have no idea.
Again, they're following the stories they've already created, so it's not really more stories. They're just banking off
It's
that
more
nostalgia.
stories.
No,
They're not retelling old stories.
but I'm saying in terms of diversity. Yeah, I mean,
What?
you still got that full white cast going.
Disney
Sorry,
Plus,
I have a
though.
I haven't seen any of these shows yet, so
Valid.
I can't say
Valid.
they're all white.
I will say that I haven't seen them all, but if
I have.
good, she's really
You know,
jumping
if
in.
they're all white, then some of them will die,
I'm just not
and
encouraged.
the more adversity ones will rise.
I'm not encouraged by that at all. I don't think more movies means more diverse storytelling because in general, especially I think Marvel's a great example. We're getting a lot, and I mean a lot more, but we've had a black superhero and a female superhero in their 30-some movie lineup. And so I don't think more means more diverse. Unfortunately, I think it should.
I think it does.
Valid.
You have like Falcon and you have Scarlet Witch and Black Widow.
That's true.
But that's not a lot.
No, it's still not a lot.
No. But
that's a problem with Marvel. I don't think that's a problem with this Disney streaming services and too much media.
Disney's under Marvel.
I know. Okay, yes, it's Disney's like their problem. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not. This is a Marvel problem. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, that's valid. And then also, I think something I fear, which I'm not going to say is necessarily the case in this one, but I do fear, when you're making a lot of series all at once, I'm worried that that just means it's kind of like, a buffet. There's a lot of food there, but it's all mediocre. I'm worried that these series will be and they're just going to make a lot of series in hope of having a lot of content available, but not necessarily really good content. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Because, there's a lot of, I loved Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 1. I loved it, great. And then, season 2, it just started with, new characters that, I didn't even, who are these people? What happened?
And then they just wanted to toss in, they're like, we have Ghost Rider now, we have this character now.
And I just stopped watching because it's just, now it's, it was good, but then...
They wanted to make more.
Yeah. So, I mean... Yeah, I'm hoping, for their sake, it's good. And I'm trying to be very positive because all the Marvel movies are very good. I enjoy it. I enjoy the humor. I enjoy the action. So as long as they can, keep those elements in, the series and have great writing and just great, comedy and just great, action and all that stuff, then I hope it's good. Okay. But you never know. You never know. But I'm trying to stay positive.
Keep it positive.
Yeah.
I think also, if you want to go that route, you could also think of it as more as they're throwing 100 balls and hoping one of them goes in.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I mean, fair. It's a shame about those 99 balls.
Well,
one's bound to
someone
land.
got paid to make them.
That's true, and I will say that is nice that, there's a lot of people being able to work. Everyone loves Disney. A lot of people want to work for Disney, and it's cool that a lot of people will get the opportunity to work at Disney. I just hope that doesn't bring down Disney's image and quality. But that being said, what are your guys' closing thoughts on this or anything else we talked about today?
Video games are stupid, but they're necessary.
Wait, can I tell a story about pre-sales of video games? Okay, wait. I've pre-saled what's it called?
Pre-bought?
What's the word?
Pre-purchase.
You just pre-purchased it.
No, that's not the word. But whatever.
You bought tickets in advance.
I pre-bought 2 games in my life. Are you ready for them?
Yes.
No Man's Sky and Fallout 76.
Oh man!
You are a failure.
So if you think that I haven't learned my lesson, I have. So I just want to say that pre-selling video games, pre-buying video games is a bad thing, and don't do it. Thank you. And good night.
Thank you for coming to this TED
You
Talk.
should have known 76 was going to be bad really early on.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I was. Well, I did. I'm smarter than Jake. What else is new? I have
Fallout.
a lot of faith in Avengers Endgame. I don't have any faith in the PS5, and I have more faith than anyone could ever believe in High School Musical, the series.
I'm just excited to see Cap die.
Well, that's been Pop Tips. I've been your host, Matthew Yapp, and joining me today was...
TT Shinkan.
And...
Hey, Helmen.
Why?
Too long. Bye.
Hello. If Matt doesn't introduce me as Daddy T, I am officially resigning as creative director. You didn't introduce me as Daddy T, and I'm very
Oh, darn. Daddy T will have to ride another day.